or, that kind of falls into that, kind of like artists, kind of like Childish Gambino or Anderson .Paak, where it's kind of like, whoa, they're hip hop, but they have instruments. Like, what's going on here? Yellow Brick Road was a song that was written a little bit before lockdown happened, and it was when I was just starting out making my journey into music and to doing it as a career. And I kind of I think at the time I was still working in a bar, like I was just serving drinks and just like working in my working spare time, and then like in my kind of part time I was trying to be a musician. And then I got my first kind of lucky kind of big break where I got the opportunity to go and work with a really big producer called James Dring, who had worked on a lot of the Gorillaz music and Jamie T's music here in the UK. And so, yeah, it was just a real big opportunity. And so I had to kind of ask my boss at work. I was like, please, can I go? I work extra, next week or whatever. And I managed to get the time off. And then, I came to this big fancy studio. And yeah, it was like a really scary time because it felt like everything that I'd done up until that point. And, I kind of feel like it kind of reminds me of that film like La La Land or something, like when you're kind of working and you're like, you go into an audition and say, oh, this could be it or whatever. And so I really just, I went into that session being like, what is this song going to be about? And then, I kind of tried my best to, if that was my audition, I didn't want to be too like cheesy. I didn't want to go, oh, I'm going to make a song about, the club, or I'm going to make a song about like, happiness or whatever. I was just like, why don't I just make a song about how I feel right now in this whole journey? And that's what I tried to do with Yellow Brick Road. So if I kind of had to, usually how I kind of brand it, whatever, it's kind of like a alternative hip hop, because I feel like anything that's kind of funky these days that isn't trap or, that kind of falls into that, kind of like artists, kind of like Childish Gambino or Anderson .Paak, where it's kind of like, whoa, they're hip hop, but they have instruments. Like, what's going on here? And I kind of feel like, yeah, I kind of put myself in that alternative hip hop. I'm a rapper first and foremost. I came from, just kind of rapping and making songs. I totally didn't sing. I didn't play any instruments. In fact, I hated live instruments. I was so hip hop. I was like, no, I'm a rapper. And then when everybody was like, oh, what about this guitar? I was like, no, go, get out of here. That's not for me. I'm a rapper. And then, yeah, I ended up joining a band and started playing live music and started experiencing live music. Somebody showed me the White Stripes and the Black Keys, and I was just blown away. I write songs based on what's going on in my life at the time and based on how I'm feeling. And it usually just, I kind of just spew out this big kind of probably unconscious blob of whatever, and then just be like, okay, this let's make a song out of it. And it's a little bit daunting sometimes, and it's also a bit vulnerable. And I guess to most people, it seems a bit odd that I'm just making random noises. Even before I did this for a living, I worked in a call center where I was speaking to people over a phone, and I was constantly getting pulled up and told off because I'd be like, oh, sorry, 2 seconds, I need to put you on hold, and I'd be like, or whatever, and yeah, I'm just always, I guess, just making noises and putting music to life.